Yeah, this is Mike in my first YouTube video. Just I'd like to see how I feel about my comedy. I'm doing this in my tore up garage, and just like to let you know how I feel about things, get your opinion. Um, One thing I think our country's real messed up for those of us that try to go out there and work for a living, and then we go to work, they're trying to fire us half the time or critiquing what we do, and then they make the gas expensive so you can't even barely get enough gas money to get to work. It's like you want to be like, well, fuck it, I ain't gonna work, and a lot of us take the bus to work, and there's a lot of taxation without representation. The government wants us to own our own houses, but I'll never think you ever will own your own house, because even if you own your own house, you have to pay taxes on the land that your property, on the land that your property is on every year. So how do you ever own your house? You know what I'm saying? You don't never own it. You're just like renting it. That's why people that make fun of people that rent, those people don't have to pay taxes, but they have to pay rent, and they'll never own it. They'll say, well, you never own it. Well, you never own your house either. You go a couple months without working, and you lost everything. I also think that when you win the lotto, that they shouldn't tax your money, because when I buy a lotto ticket, when I get my check, that money that I get from working all week, it's already been taxed. They take taxes out of it. So when I go to the store and I buy that lotto ticket, that dollar's already been taxed on. So when somebody wins that money, which is everyone's dollar that's already been taxed, they tax them again. So to me, that's taxation without representation. You're taxing someone with no good reason, because the money that they bought that ticket with had already had the taxes taken out of it. And I'm curious, like, say if you do win the lotto, do you ever like, say you win 35 million, they take half, you got like 15, 20 million left, 17 million, whatever, 17 million 500,000. The next year, if you have that money, do they tax you on that money again? So I mean, how do y'all feel about that? I think our country's messed up, because they'll put us in jail and charge us, or whoever does this, $70,000 for a bootleg CD. But some rich guy buys a company boat, and he says it's a company boat, but he's the only one ever on it, and he tax write it off as a business expense. He just got basically a free boat that only him and his friends are on, and that's okay. But because certain people can't afford to go to the movies and spend $30 because they don't make enough, and they buy a bootleg CD and they get caught with it, and they're going to get charged all these fines. I mean, there are some good entertainers out there that give to charity and stuff, but I don't think they want someone to be losing $70,000. I mean, if people could afford to go to the movies, they would go, but they're not making enough money. So you got to either not go to the movies, or cut expenses somehow. The same thing with the driving deal. I think that they only want rich people to drive because there's too many cars on the road. That's why they did the insurance thing. They know some people can't afford insurance, so many thousands of people are now on the bus, and because they can't afford insurance, and then they make the you got to buy that deal every year for the sticker for the license, and then you got to have your vehicle maintenance, and you can't have certain emissions. So basically, eventually, it's going to be the poor people are going to be on the bus, and the rich people are going to be the only ones on the road, because then the price of gas is going up, which, the price of oil has not really gone up. So why has the price of gas gone up? You know what I'm saying? And then these companies that sell the gas, they're making millions and millions of dollars. So why doesn't the government make them pay a fair price, or charge a fair price for the gas? And it's not really our fault for using it, because there's really not enough time to do anything as it is, because we're always you got to drop your kids off at school, you got to make it to work on time, you got to go shop for groceries, and if you do that, on a bike or on a bus, it takes too long, or make your doctor's appointments, and it's just hard. And I just think the government needs to, and they have the money, they have lots of money. Everything that you buy in the store, that sales tax, that 6% goes to the government. Not only our taxes go to the government, and the money from our check that goes to the government, but off of every sale that every store makes, everybody at Walmart, everyone at Kmart, everyone at all the mall stores, all that 6 cents, 7 cents, $1.79, $10 on 100, $11 on 100 goes to the government. So they can't say that they don't have the money. And it's kind of bad because there's these CEOs that make like $30 million, $40 million, $50 million a year, but then the guy down here at the bottom, he's only making $8, $9 an hour. Why can't you take $2 million of that money that I don't know what he needs? It's $30 million. He needs. I mean, you can have all the women, cars, houses you want, trips, and everything with $30 million a year. This is not $30 million a lifetime. This is $30 million a year. They could give like $2 million of that guy's money and put it down here into the poor people, and that would help because this guy's not making $8, $9 no more. Maybe he's making $27, $28, $29 an hour. And he's going to go shopping. He's going to buy a better car with better emissions, and he's going to pay his insurance, and he's going to buy a house. But it's topsy turvy. It's backwards, and I don't really agree that much with the 99% thing. Like, who's going to give you money when you didn't work for it? Yeah, there is enough money to go around. That's the point. Is there is enough money that we all don't have to starve. When that guy's family or his generations behind him, they made that money, so they do deserve to get the rewards of that money. They can't just have some guy waste his whole life making all this money and then give it away to help for the better good, because why do you deserve it when you didn't work for it? But the point is that if you do work, we need to get paid a higher salary, but that's fucked up because then everything else goes up. Like, if you're making $100 an hour, bread's going to cost like $20 a loaf. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just crazy. And but it could be done. They just take from the rich that have too much and put it down. And people that really are able to work, they need to go to work or think of it. So I just personally think they should invest and make it easy for them to start your own business. There's a lot of people out there that can start their own business, but they have no money to do it, man. Your bank account, they lend you money and they charge you $33 when you miss out on you overdraft your account $5 and they charge you $33. They don't see that that's illegal. How the hell is that not illegal? I mean, those guys should be rotting in prison. If you charge me $35 because I overdraft my account $5, that should be illegal. And then sometimes they do it 2 or 3 times because you don't have no money for food or money for gas and you need to get to work and you don't want to lose your job. So you overdraft your account and you mistakenly do it, and then another dollar fee comes through. They're charging you $70 for like under $10. It's just totally wrong, I think.